Hi all, this is the MakeHaven badging video for the little metal shop drill press. So this is similar to the wood shop one and the metal shop one, but it's important to know all the little idiosyncrasies about this so you can use it safely. So a drill press is used when you want to drill holes very straight, or you're doing it in thicker steel or some metal that's difficult, so you want to have more power. This one's obviously smaller, but sometimes you don't need a huge drill press, you just want to drill like a few small holes. So that's the idea here. In terms of like the bits and pieces on it, this is the power switch, so you pull it to turn it on, just like that. This brings the quill up and down, so this is the quill. The handle, this is the chuck. So the chuck, this is a keyed chuck, which means there's a key that goes in the chuck, and there's a safety key because there's a spring, so it pops out. Then on the top, there are belts. So this one just has 2 pulleys, and these pulleys control the speed. So right now, it's in the slowest speed because it's the smallest pulley turning the biggest pulley, but we can change that later. And we can raise the bed up and down, first by loosening this, and then by raising the crank, and then similarly for dropping it. So we're just going to raise this up to get a little bit closer to the chuck. You can obviously turn it too if you want. All right, that's probably close enough, and we're just going to line it so it's right, so this hole is right underneath, so when we drill through our material, it doesn't hit the table, like it looks like someone did there. I'm going to tighten down so it doesn't move anywhere on us. And now we can look at the sort of safety considerations of it. So you never want to have gloves on because those can get caught and then pull your whole hand in, which obviously you don't want. No necklaces, loose sleeves or hair, anything like that. They get caught in the spinning pieces. In terms of the things you can put in here, you can put in normal drill bits, you could put in reamers, you could put a tap in here and then without power, turn it in manually, and so that could be a way of holding the tap straight. The wood shop, occasionally it's okay if you're going through a soft piece of wood and making a small hole to just hold the piece of wood, but on here, when you're dealing with metal, it always needs to be clamped. So you need to make sure you're using vice grips or this vise or some way of really making sure that that is not moving. Because if it catches and starts spinning, it's like a lawnmower blade, so you really just don't want that to happen. So in terms of how we are going to secure the materials to here, you can use the vice grip, so we'll grab those. And I'm also going to grab some material to drill a hole in. So we've got this piece of aluminum to drill, we have 2 vice grips, and we have this drill bit that we're going to load up in the chuck. When we are clamping, and there are a lot of different ways of clamping, this is just one, you tighten the vice grips until they're the distance apart that we want them to be. So I'm going to keep tightening, and when they're in the closed position, so like for a drill bit, like that, and then I'm going to open them, turn it maybe a half turn more, and then clamp down. And now it's on there, and just for safety, we're going to throw one more on there, same deal. Twist, 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 till that is where we want it, and then a half twist more, and now it is really on there. For loading up the bits, you could use a step drill bit, use whatever you want. We're going to twist this clockwise if you're looking at it from the bottom. And we really want to load the drill bit up just on the shank. We don't want to be touching the flutes. So just like that. And then we're going to tighten in each hole. And you could also clamp this down to the table if you really didn't want it moving. All right, so that should be nice and tight there. And now we're going to look at the speed. So on the inside here, it gives us some recommendations. Come around to that side. So it's saying, so this is a piece of aluminum, which is here, and the hole that we're making is about 1/4 inch, which is about here. And so it's saying that we want to be in belt location 4-4, and that'll give us an RPM of about 2,000. So 4-4 is just the second down from the top. So I'm going to loosen the 2 red bolts on either side and use, and they just sort of detension on their own. And then we're going to first get it off the big pulley and go up to the 4th from the bottom. That's how it's numbered here. And then go up to the 4th from the top here. And then we're just going to push on this guy. Like that until it's nice and taut, and tighten back on those red handles. Okay, so now we should be at a good speed, and we can reach our material, which is good. Now I might just raise it up just a little bit more, just so we don't have to extend the quilt quite so far. And tighten it. And then for oil, we happen to have some Tap Magic here, so I'll use that. People use WD-40, whatever it is that floats your boat. Some people use nothing on aluminum. On steel, you should definitely use stuff. Here, this is so thin, we're just going to go right through. If it was thicker, you could tap drill. And that's, now that hits that, which I hadn't considered, so we will lower it a little. And we are now clear of our vice grip and over the hole. All right, so we're not going to tap drill like I mentioned. And the last feature that I'm going to point out is actually on this side. Sorry. And this is the depth stop. So let's say you want to go to consistent depth each time, then you would bring it down to that depth and rotate it here, or I'm sorry, going counterclockwise, lock it, and now each time it'll go down to that specific depth. So that's how the depth stop works, but we don't need that for right now. Just tighten that back up. And we're going to turn this on. So you can see this flailing chip and the other one that flew out. What you can do to prevent that is peck drilling. So you just go little bits at a time, and then that'll stop it from making those long chips. And then obviously that's why we're wearing safety glasses. And another thing that some people struggle with is being sort of timid with the metal. You really want to push pretty aggressively because it'll chomp right through it, especially aluminum. And if you go slowly, it just kind of melts it and doesn't really cut it. So that is, one other thought is if you're doing really thin material and you want to make a hole in thin material, I mean, there's a world of sort of tips and tricks, but this particular one, because it came to mind, you can put a sheet of wood on either side or a block of wood, and that backing will help you drill a hole nicely through thin material. Obviously, feel free to ask facilitators if you have any other questions or post on Slack. In terms of cleanup, just grab a shop vac or a rag and clean up the mess, throw away any scrap in the scrap bin, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching.